Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I said, welcome to my show. I
Good
am
call.
here with Mr. Chris Preston from My Rock and Roll Heaven. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Tim. Excited today. As you can tell, I'm decked out. We've got
Yeah,
some stuff in the background.
the red
But
shirt looks cool with the Adrenalized logo. That's
yeah, this
cool.
is obviously not original, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, obviously we're talking about Def Leppard. Most of the time, if I've got Chris on, we're talking about Def Leppard or Survivor or, cassettes or something fun like that. But we are definitely talking about Def Leppard today. We are going through our Def Leppard vinyl collections, not including 45s, not including or 12-inch
Well,
singles,
no
not
12
including
inch yet.
singles. So we're talking about albums, EPs, live albums, comps, and Chris's collection is going to majorly eclipse mine. So it's going to be him leading the charge, and I can't wait to see the myriad of versions of the Def Leppard albums he has. I was content to have at least one version of each, at least of each of the studio albums. So I'm missing a bunch of stuff, but
But
I
Tim, that's what normal, rational people would do. They
well,
would have one.
the the thing is, and this is a theme that comes up a lot. We all have, as collectors,
Yes.
we all have a different focus. Why is it that I collect April Wine cassettes in all of the variants, and no, and with the exception of Y&T, no other band I seek out as long as I've got one copy. But with April Wine, I want to
Yep.
find all the different cassette variants. There's just something inside that says you should do this or you should do that.
It is.
Whereas,
It's like the little devil on your shoulder and the angel. The devil's
well,
going,
it's
get
like,
them all.
yeah, it's like the good Goofy and the bad Goofy, and
Right,
uh,
right.
and uh, and our collecting habits are just plain goofy. But
They are.
obviously huge, both huge Def Leppard fans, and I just thought, yeah, let's do this. It had taken me a while to get all the studio albums, and
Mhm.
most of mine are sealed, most of mine are reissues. So,
Right.
but I'm going to let Chris lead the way because, first of all, I don't have everything. I'm guessing he does. So
I
I'm
think
just
so.
so when he comes up with something I do have, once he's done through his list, I'll show my I got one too. Um, but this is going to be a great, obviously this is a band that we've both been big fans of for a long time. And the cover art is iconic and the logo is
Oh,
iconic. So this is going to be really fun. So sit back, folks. This is going to be a long marathon
get a
episode.
coffee.
Yeah, get yourself a beverage of choice. And if you're a Def Leppard fan and you're into vinyl, you're going to like this one. So, Chris, I'm going to let you start us off with the first thing in your Def Leppard vinyl collection.
Oh boy, this is going to be amazing. So, thanks Tim for doing this. Of course, as you said, I'm in for anything Def Leppard related. They're my favorite band. They're the band just like, you mentioned with you with the April Wine cassette variants. I have to have everything I can get my hands on. So, when my wife says, "Why do you have 12 copies of one album?" Well, honey, there's a different
Yeah.
label, there's a different there's variants, right? So that's part of the fun of collecting too, is the thrill of the hunt and the treasure you find. So I started, just a quick preamble. I was a Def Leppard fan, full on from Hysteria forward. I had
Yeah.
heard
Same.
songs.
Yep.
That's when I really got into them though. Um, some of the stuff I have is original from when I bought it back then. So I've kept that stuff. A lot as I've picked up over the years. And I'm going to say two quick things. The 80s were fabulous for not only great music, but they were fabulous for media
Yeah.
because you had essentially all four formats going on at various points.
Yep.
But in the mid to late 80s, you had three solid formats: cassette,
Yep.
CDs, and vinyl. So labels put out everything and they put out different versions of things. This was about marketing. Right now, it's all about concerts, right? Artists don't sell albums really anymore. So picture discs were huge. All these other little things the collectors could get their hands on. So that's part of why I love the 80s as well, is just the sheer volume of stuff that came out.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll add is, as we go through this, I have to give kudos to Def Leppard, but particularly Joe Elliott, who is the curator and he's the guy, the archivist, and he is the mastermind behind a lot of the reissues in terms of what they look like, the booklets you get with it, all the rest of it. So they're a band that has done an amazing job of reissuing their back catalog as well as putting out new like lost, recordings, etc.
Well, Joe's a guy who he's a fan.
He's a
He gets
fan.
it. He
He's a collector.
understands. Yeah, he's a collector himself. He understands what fans want in these things. And he's like so many of us, I'm sure he's been disappointed in some of the reissues that he's purchased from, I don't know, David Bowie, Mott the Hoople, the
Yeah,
Who,
exactly.
and said, well, if I was going to have a crack at this is how I'd do it. So that's
Exactly.
yeah. So it's because, and I think it needs to be said, not all bands have someone in the band that's like that.
Yep.
Some
I think
bands
the other
pay,
guys are quite happy to let Joe do it.
yeah, let him take the lead on that. And some bands have very little to do with their back catalog, which and usually it shows. Usually it
Exactly.
shows. So if you
Exactly.
let other people do it, unless you're trusting someone who's a huge fan and knows the catalog inside out and knows what should be included and what would make sense to be included, you're not going to get it exactly the way that it should be. So
Right.
yes, Joe does a great job with all of these, and they're all it's the catalog's in good hands.
It is in excellent hands. And Universal Music has done an amazing job of working with him, for
Yep.
the past few years and currently to put this stuff out. So, all right, let's dig in. First up, so I actually have the original, not the original, I'll talk about in a sec, but this is the Def Leppard EP.
Yeah.
So their first recording that was done on their own Bludgeon Rifola Records label with money from Joe's dad to press the first, I think it was 500 copies. This is a reissue. This was a Record Store Day
Yeah.
reissue. Again, Universal Music put this out, but the original EP is a 45 7-inch single size. I have the second pressing of that, the yellow label version. My holy grail is obviously the original EP with with Joe Elliott's handwritten liner notes. But they were faithful. They did. That's what the
That's
label
so
looked
cool.
like. It was a different color, but they were faithful to re-releasing it with the label. So it's just got the three songs, Ride Into the Sun, Get Your Rocks Off, and Overture. But what I really love, and this is again attention to detail, Tim. So they've reprinted this isn't the original EP liner notes, because the original one was handwritten lyrics by Joe that he and his mom photocopied and put in the first 200, I think. But this is the second version with the printed lyrics, and you can see there the drawings of the band's photos. So notice though, there are only 4 of them.
So yes, because Frank Noon plays drums on this, and he
Exactly.
was not actually a member of the band.
Exactly. He was borrowed from the next band after
Yeah.
Tony Kenning, who is a wonderful fellow, and we've talked about
Yeah.
before, left due to some personal family issues. But that's why there's only 4 of them on
Yeah.
that little card. So that is where it all started with
Yeah.
Def Leppard.
And so I've got that too. Mine's sealed, and I happened to was lucky enough to pick this up on the Record Store Day the year that it came out. I was so happy to catch this. I
Oh,
almost
me
missed.
too.
I almost missed it. Yeah, if you want to know more about all of the issues of this, our good friend David Churchy and Church of Leopard, that's the book.
Good shout out.
That's the guy that all things Def Leppard. What I think is really interesting about this is, Def Leppard's first album came out in 1980, yet with the advent of this, we've got a release from them from the 70s. So this is credited 1979 Mercury Records on this reissue. And I
Exactly.
love the fact that it prints the lyrics inside of there, which I'd never
Yeah,
seen
it's
before,
it's so great.
because there aren't any lyrics. It took a long time before their albums included lyrics.
It did. It did. We'll
So at
get to
least,
that.
yeah. Cool. All right. So that's, we're off to the races, as
We're
it
off to the
were.
races.
Yeah.
And pardon me for I'm going to be reaching around a lot just because there's a lot of stuff everywhere.
Yep.
So, as we know, the band then signed to Phonogram in the UK under Vertigo Records, and in 1980 they released their full-length debut album, On Through the Night, produced by Colonel Tom Allom. So this is a 1980 Canadian Polygram Vertigo pressing. and it's in pretty good shape. I'll take my
Yeah,
notes
I
off the
guess
back here.
maybe. Okay, so I've seen these. I love those ones where they have the polygram sticker down the side there like that.
Yeah. So this is the Canadian release, right? Which had that. So it's got the Polygram Quebec, Canada
Yeah.
warehouse number. But I'll just quickly show you what I really like about this is now this one. Well, we'll get to them. I love the label on this album. So look at that.
Yeah.
Right that's side A with the Def Leppard logo, and then you flip it around.
It's
There's the
got all the
track listing.
songs.
But look at side A. This rocks.
That rocks. That
Side
this
B,
rocks.
that rocks.
Yeah.
Like how cool is that?
That's very
And then
British.
very British, but great liner notes. And this version did have the lyrics.
I've never seen that before.
Yep. With the
Yeah.
band shot and logo on the back.
And I love how the
So
logo and then they arrange the whole thing as triangles.
exactly right. Like
The only time they did that, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I
Exactly.
know Hysteria is kind of a triangle, but that's the first time. That's the only time they kind of went all in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So On Through the Night was a big success in the UK, kind of broke them. Didn't do a lot over here. And this is a Japanese 1980 Japanese pressing with the Obi strip, which is very cool because it's always got some information on the album and photo of the band there. Same back cover, but this is why we collect again, Tim. So the different variants, right? It's
Yeah.
got the green Vertigo spaceship logo,
Yeah.
which is cool. And Japanese pressings always had very cool inserts. So it's almost more of like a booklet style, right? So you've got the Japanese lyrics and band photos, etc. But you can even see there, this is the interesting stuff that you get. So a new band and Def
Yeah.
Leppard won, but then they list all these other new wave of British heavy metal bands. This is actually you can see it's a picture from Sounds magazine, page
Okay.
18.
Yeah.
Sounds magazine. They list all the other new British bands that were coming up that would be on the label.
So
And then it's
that bottom photo, Chris, I've got because I've got that 2 disc that New Wave of British Heavy Metal compilation that Lars Ulrich
yes,
helped compile in 1990. And there's a bunch of photos on the front cover, and that's the photo of Def Leppard that's used.
that's so wild.
Yeah, because there's a version of Get Your Rocks Off on there.
Right, right. Very cool. And then the English on the back. But
Yeah.
I've gotten into collecting
Oh, the
Japanese,
old B
trying to get,
strips are so cool, whether they're vinyl or
yeah,
CD. They're just so cool.
especially with Def Leppard. So I'm working my way through to get all the Japanese
Yeah.
versions, right? So then we get into the reissues, and I love what they did with this one. So this is part of the vinyl box set from
Hmm.
the volume one, right?
Yeah.
So this is the 180 gram, but it is a
Gatefold.
gatefold.
Wow. That's so cool.
So rather than having the paper insert, you've got the lyrics and the logo and same back cover. And I won't show you the label because it's the same. It's the green original Vertigo green spaceship label,
Yeah.
which is very cool. And then they also put out, this is again just Universal and Joe going to town. So this is the 2019 reissue on 180 gram, but it's not a gatefold. They just reissued it with the.
Yeah.
But you can see the original was blue. They went with black for the lyric insert, and the same green spaceship label. So that album, that is not my original copy. That's the Canadian release because I didn't actually buy that album until much later, maybe around the Adrenalize period. I didn't like it back then. After listening to Hysteria, On Through the Night sounded
It's
harsh to my
pretty
ears.
different. It's pretty different sounding. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So the version of On Through the Night that I have is a US version. It's got a fair bit of ringwear on it. This is only the second Def Leppard vinyl record I ever bought. So I bought
Oh,
this in the
cool.
summer of 1993. Um, Here's the back cover. And of course, something that I got better at looking for is like, well, okay, yeah, it's not too expensive, but does it have everything in it? Well, it doesn't. Mine just
That's
came
it. Yeah.
with a white paper sleeve, but my copy is the.
Mercury.
So this is a later 80s reissue. It doesn't say that it is, but I know that it is. And the way that I know that it is because if this had been the original US version from 1980, they would have had like the Chicago skyline, with the skyscrapers on it. That's what it would have looked like. So this is
Right.
obviously from probably post Pyromania, I would say. Same catalog number, but this has got to be a
Yeah.
slightly later issue.
Well, and there were so many after the Pyromania went nuts, right?
Yeah.
They reissued everything high and
All the
dry on through
albums
the
went
night.
back on the charts, right?
Exactly.
So,
So they had to. So
yeah.
so high and dry. I've come to like it now. It's still not one I put on and listen to on a fully regular basis. Pardon me for being out of the frame here. But I think it's a great album. So very quickly after On Through the Night came out, Def Leppard went back in to record their second album, High and Dry, and we know the history there. Their first recording with Robert John Mutt Lang,
Yeah.
the unofficial sixth member of the band. This album is a fan favorite. Unfortunately, getting a lot of arguments with people around the internet who say, "Oh, High and Dry was their last good album." Then they started to go pop.
That gets, yeah.
But that gets tiresome, and I try to
It
avoid
really
that.
does. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so High and Dry. We've got a few copies of this. So this is a 1981 Japanese pressing, but without the Obi strip. It's got all the photos of the guys on the back, and very similar to On Through the Night, it uses that spaceship Vertigo
I
label.
love that. I love that logo. I don't have many things with that on it.
Right? It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And then what they did for the insert on this one was just a one pager. So it's got the Japanese lyrics and credits, photo of the band, and then on the back it's got the English lyrics and credits.
So I guess
So
I was totally wrong about Def Leppard
well,
not printing lyrics. It's just I'm so used to the pressings I have, and the CDs don't have them either.
this is it. So the Japanese pressings always had them.
Yeah.
We didn't get it in North America,
Right.
usually, right? So that's kind of the difference. So that's the Japanese pressing. But I also, because Tim, like you said, it's missing something. I had to get
There's the
one
Obi
with
strip.
the Obi strip.
Yeah. I admire that dedication / madness.
Madness. I was just going to say it is
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
It's got the same features. It's the exact same copy actually, but I had to have that. And one day, I haven't done this yet, but one day I'm actually going to translate all this and see exactly what it says, because I'll flip it into Google. But it was 2,500 yen back in the day, whatever that equals in Canadian currency. So we've got, I'll go through some of these quickly because obviously the covers are the same, but this is the Canadian phonogram Mercury Records. And Tim, as you mentioned, look, there we go.
Yep. Yep. The Chicago
There's the skyline
label. Yeah. That's what I call it anyway, because that's where Mercury Records was based. It's just like the Warner Brothers ones with the buildings. I call that the Burbank label.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now, the insert was different, and we're going to no lyrics, and there's actually even like no credits on this, but I love the band shots. So it's them kind of living their lives, showing the recording process, live shots, but no credits. All the credits are on the back. So that's a little bit of a different kind of take on it. Then we've got the 1981 UK pressing. Boom, same thing again, but this is on phonogram out of the UK on Vertigo, right? So it's got
so now it's the orange
label.
Yeah. I like the spaceship one better.
Yeah. So in the UK they were signed to Phonogram, as I said, but Polygram was the distribution over here, and then
it's all the same parent company, right?
Exactly. This took a while to find, and I'm glad I found it. So this is the 1984 reissue, right? Pyromania came out, went nuts. They decided to reissue this with a remix of Bring It On the Heartbreak, and they added Me and My Wine. Yeah. So I love that. We've got the hype sticker. Yeah. This one's still in the sealed, well, not sealed. It's still in the original shrink wrap, but unfortunately,
it's open on the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. And no inner sleeve.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to find that. So this has got the Mercury, US Mercury label,
Yeah.
but harder to find than you would think, that version.
It is, yes, it is, and that's definitely been my experience with that too. And also, that is the one Def Leppard 8 track that I'm still looking for, even though I have the original High and
Oh,
Dry. I have the original High
oh,
and Dry, but I still need the remix because the remix exists as a record club only. So that's why I confuse people to say I've got all the Def Leppard albums that they put out on 8 track, yet I'm still missing one.
you're still missing one.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the Canadian version, the 84 reissue. Same as the US in terms of obviously packaging. The difference is, well, not the differences, but I've got the
Uh-huh.
insert for this one, for the Canadian version, same one. And this one has the different label, which is by this point, look, they've done the
Yeah.
custom Def Leppard
Yeah.
logo on a light blue label. And this is on Vertigo because that's what was, that was the Canadian record company. So
Yeah.
that was another good find. Okay, next up, the reissues. 2019. Again, they did a bunch of reissues that year. So this is the 180 gram. And I will just show you, same insert as the others. So I'll just show you the record because this is a cool colored version,
Cool. Oh man. Yeah.
right? Like, look at that red, beautiful red with the original UK Vertigo label.
That Vertigo label almost makes it so that even if you're a brand new band, it looks like you've got a customized label. It's so cool.
Exactly, right? Like, it would I'd love to have that if I was
Yeah.
a new band. And then in 2018, they issued a, no, this is sealed, so you'll just get the
Oh,
gist of
I
it.
remember this. Yeah. Yeah. Picture
This
disc.
was
Yeah.
a record store day 2019, I believe.
Yeah. I think you're right.
That's the picture. That's the picture disc.
Yeah.
So I haven't looked inside to see what else is in there, but I had to have that obviously. And then, of course, you have to have the. This is the 2018 vinyl box set volume one copy, and the only difference in terms of labels, actually, it's the same label, but 180 gram, and
Yeah.
it's got the green spaceship label as well.
And is it a gatefold like the On Through the Night?
It is not. It is
Oh,
not. But we'll get to
interesting.
some that are later,
Oh,
but this one was not.
interesting.
So that's all of the high and dry
Okay.
copies I have. I'm curious to see which one you have.
Well, so spoiler alert, this is the only one I've got two copies of. uh so this okay. So this is the 1981 version. No, sorry, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. That's not right. Hold it. I got them in the wrong order. Highly professional. Oh, you know what? Hold on here. Okay. I had the sleeves and the records mixed up. All right. Highly well-oiled machine here. Let's try
We
that.
are.
Okay.
We're all good.
So this is the 1981 version, and this is actually a Canadian Columbia House version. So
Missing
underneath,
that.
so well, just the fact that I've got something now that Chris doesn't is amazing. But yeah, so this is just the one that I found because High and Dry took me a while to find on anything, or not on anything, but on vinyl of any sort. So yeah, so it's probably just like the original retail version, except down at the bottom, it's got in the white letter manufactured by Columbia House,
Right.
blah. Doesn't have anything for a sleeve in it. It was years. I don't think it was till I got to know you that I actually realized that there was an inner sleeve that came with it, with pictures and all of that. So the actual record, surprisingly enough, even though it's Canadian, has the US Mercury label.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so this might be post
Hmm.
Pyromania, but pre-reissue.
I think you might be right.
Because I don't think they used this uh Mercury label
No.
until
Uh,
1983 because I
yeah,
think
I
in
think.
terms of I always think in terms of like if you of Kiss records.
Yep.
So Creatures of the Night when it would have the Casablanca logo on it. Lick It Up would have had that black and red Mercury. So I think
Correct.
that's when that started because before then again it was the Chicago label.
Let's
So
do a little
now
research.
yeah, so now this is the 1984 reissue, and this is a Canadian retail version of it because it's got the extra copyright of 1984 on it. And yeah, this LP it contains the original release of Def Leppard's High and Dry plus Bring It on the Heartbreak remix and Me and My Wine remix, both tracks previously unavailable. Well, that's not strictly true because Me and My Wine, I believe, was the original B-side of Bringing on the Heartbreak.
Yes,
So
you are
yeah,
correct.
different catalog number two. So this has this has Vertigo on it because yeah, in Canada, I mean, because we were a British colony, we tended to mirror their
Yeah,
and I think that didn't, I don't think that changed until Adrenalize came out, because I think even when Hysteria came out in Canada, it was still on Vertigo, where in the US it was on
correct.
Mercury.
Correct. Yeah.
So this was even harder to find. As a matter of fact, my version of this is the best I could do is find one where it had
Oh no.
come unglued, but I mean it's intact. And like yours, this is what the record itself looks
Yeah,
like. So far, I think I've got one that's different
that's
than
okay.
you've got.
I'm gonna hunt that down. You know what always drives me nuts too is when you get some of these. I've never understood how. Why are they missing inserts? Did people throw away the inserts? It's like,
I know. This takes me back to something I heard somebody say a long, long time ago. I just think my parents were talking to someone, and um, they're talking about how they buy a cassette and they just keep the cassette and they throw the J card out. And
what?
I wasn't even dead, and I was spinning in my grave. I mean,
I was gonna say that makes me
that just gave me extreme fits because I thought
exactly.
that is so stupid. But
My OCD is going nuts.
oh, so yeah, I like, where do these go? I understand. There's one thing that I understand. Like if you're buying 8 tracks or cassettes, if you buy something that came, there were two of them, and the
Yeah,
only thing holding them together was an elastic, you're probably going to have to seek volume one and volume two separately. But if
sure.
something that came with it and you've kept the record all these years, you know what I bet happened? I bet in a lot of cases they ended up on as posters. They ended up on walls, and
Oh,
then
you know what? Very good
that's
point.
probably what happened.
Because there's some cool inners. I'd make posters out of some of these for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, High and Dry, kind of a flop in the UK in the sense that at that point Def Leppard was seen as having sold out to the
Yeah,
US,
such a
according
strange
to right.
mentality. It's such a
It,
strange mentality, but yeah,
but High and Dry launched them in North America, but
yeah,
obviously this is
yeah.
what made them
Sealed the deal. Yeah,
superstars.
yeah.
Pyromania, massive album, number 2 on the Billboard Top Pop Albums chart, held out by Thriller, of course. This is a UK Vertigo pressing from 1983. And the original inner, which frustrates the heck out of me. Why did Def Leppard do this
I
after?
know, I know, I know.
Like, why did the record company not? They did a red plain sleeve. Guys,
Yeah,
give me something.
yeah,
Like all the credits are on the back, and as you
yeah,
said, Tim, this is the beginning of no lyrics. You have to
yeah.
figure it out on your own, right? So,
The Canadian
oh, the
cassette
cassette is
had the lyrics to Photograph, but that was it.
just photographed. Yeah,
Yeah,
just photographed. So it's like, what's going on? And then there's the UK
yeah.
Vertigo orange label. So this again in their home country, this album did not go over very well. So, what's going on? 1983 again, original Japanese
Oh,
pressing with
and the
the OB
Obi
strip,
matches the. Oh, that looks so cool.
right? The OB matches, which is so awesome. And same thing. Well, not same thing, but same as the other.
Oh, I see it's got the Vertigo. I
It's
love
got the
that. That's
Vertigo green label
yeah.
as the prior
They
albums,
should just always use that.
right? It's so good.
Yeah.
But the Japanese being the Japanese label, so Phonogram Nippon,
Yep.
they gave
Yep.
us a insert with
Yep.
Japanese lyrics, picture of the band down there, and
Yep.
English lyrics.
Yeah.
Yes. So you had a lyric sheet for another Def Leppard album out of Japan. Okay, so Pyromania, I've got a few because there's a lot of variants, and I'm still
Yeah.
working my way through. So this is a German 1983 German version. Has the red inner sleeve too.
Yeah.
No special inserts. But Tim, check out this label. So this is Germany Vertigo
Oh wow.
with
Okay, so
this,
it's a variant of the spaceship.
yeah,
I've
in
never seen
red.
that before.
right?
Yeah.
Like how cool is that? So
I'm because of your shirt is red. When I first looked at it, I'm like, is there no hole in that record?
yeah, well, you were looking right through it
Yeah.
exactly. So that was the Japanese stuff is always really cool because it's a bit
Yeah.
different. So
Yeah.
then this is a um, this must have been this is a UK release from 1983, but I'm thinking it might have been the second kind of round
Second
of
run of them. Yeah.
yeah, because what they now it doesn't have the red inner sleeve, it's just a plain white one. But look at the label now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's got the Def Leppard logo with the
Yeah.
Pyromania album cover logo
That's
on
a good
Vertigo,
sign. That's a good sign when an album's selling well when they do
right?
that.
Yeah, exactly. So, by that point, obviously the band had probably become big enough that they wanted to get that out there. This is from the 2018 vinyl box set, Volume One. Um, the same thing as the other versions, but 180 gram with spaceship logo. So a nice job of reissuing. But even for the reissue, Tim, I was surprised. Look what they did. They
Huh.
reissued the red. They didn't give
Well,
us anything
well,
extra.
that's how it was. I guess they didn't want to tamper
They didn't want
with.
to mess with it, right?
Yeah. That would be
And
a question for Joe. If you ever had the
that
chance to do a Q and A, like, and just don't even say anything. Just hold it up and go, just point like what's with this?
sometime I will ask Joe that. I'm
Yeah.
hopefully being going to be able to see him again at some point. 20, yeah, this is 2018. This was a Sunrise Canada exclusive, supposedly limited
Okay.
edition red vinyl that came out, and they used the original Canada
Wow.
UK, but it's on red vinyl,
But
which
it
again
looks
looks great.
the label looks good with the red.
It
It
does.
yeah.
Right? The red, the orange, that kind of stuck with the fire
Yeah.
theme, I guess, kind of. Now, I love what they did for this one. Oh, wait, no, not this one. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you the one last. I'll try and go in order here. This was hard to find. This is a 2006 US picture disc Universal Music put out.
2006. Now that's
2006.
interesting because that kind of predates the sort of vinyl resurgence, I think.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure if it was part of something in particular, like some sort of event or anything going on, but this
Because I
was
know they reissued that they did that weird it was off the it wasn't an anniversary, but they reissued Hysteria that year. But that's
so
interesting. It's
that was
cool.
that was a really cool find and tough to find too. This was a cool pickup. It's sealed, but this was 2023. They put out a half speed
Half speed master.
remaster
Yeah.
that was done at Abbey Road. And Universal Music, where is he? Yeah, it just says that they was cutting a special cut using the half speed mastering, so it's supposed to sound better. Does it really? I don't know because I'm not going to open it.
Yeah. It's a pretty good sounding album to begin with. So
It is exactly. Then we had 2023, 2024 saw them do a bunch of stuff because it was also tied into the anniversary, right, of
yeah.
2023. So this is which one is this? This is the Universal. This is the official one of the official anniversary editions, and love this splatter vinyl they put it out on.
Yeah. And the
So it's got
colors are matching to the album art.
exactly. So this one is, I love colored vinyl. Some people
Yeah.
don't, but I do. And again, though, look what they did.
I think you're stuck with that, man. That's
But not
yeah.
quite, because then, of course, they don't put out one anniversary edition. They
No.
put out a bunch of them, right? And I got to
Yeah.
have them. This is the Gatefold
Oh, that is awesome. That's awesome.
2024 special edition double album because as you can see,
Oh,
it's also
it's got the
got
live stuff on. Yeah.
no, this is rough mix and outtakes. So it's like you can see rough mix of Foolin', chorus only version of Action Not Words, unfinished vocals of Photograph. It's a really fun listen. Really fun listen. But the coolest, this is so cool. Like if it's Joe that does this,
Oh man, that is awesome.
like look at that label.
Yeah.
And it says in the you can't quite see it. Your dreams start today is what it
Uh-huh.
says in font behind it. And then
From
you've
Stage
got
Fright. Yeah. That's so
love it.
cool.
And
That
then
would almost work, Chris, as like an alternate cover, like maybe if they had like an album size Obi to slip over it.
yeah, absolutely. And then the outtakes LP has if you can't see it there. Too loud, man. Too
Too
loud
loud.
with all the outtakes there.
Yeah.
But that I love what they did with that
Oh yeah.
version of it. Oh, I forgot to mention on the original 1983 UK release. Some bands do this. You can't see it, so I'm not going to show it to you.
I think I know where you're going with this.
The run out,
Yes.
on the run out, they have a message printed, and it says, if you're going to
If
be
you're
a
going to be a
bear,
bear, be a grizzly. Yeah. I
exactly.
read that in Circus Magazine. Why do I remember this?
This is the mindless
Yeah.
trivia we have in our heads, Tim.
And
So
yet, as
that's
I've
really
said many
cool.
times, what do we need for groceries? I don't know.
But well, right, exactly. Like, do we need milk? But that was the reason why I hunted out the second version of the UK pressing because I read about that and I'm like, I gotta have that.
Yeah.
And if you go in Google, you will see there are bands. There's actually a list of bands that have issued messages on runouts,
Yeah. I know
and
that
it's
I know that I know Yes have done that because I've read a couple books. There's it just gives you something different to look for, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So this is actually the first Def Leppard vinyl I ever bought in 1993. So
In
up and
'93, did you get it out of the deleted bin?
fire on it, yet I froze. Okay, there he is. Um, yeah, 1993. So backstory is that up until this point, I did not have access to used vinyl, much at all. So up until this point, I think I had 8 records because
Wow.
I had 6 records that I found uh, when I was babysitting for my cousin, and they let me have them. And then so yeah, so I found like I can still remember what they were. It was Journey Escape, Van Halen, Fair Warning, Rush 2112 and Hemispheres, and Aerosmith Night in the Ruts and Greatest Hits.
Oh wow.
Then I at Sam the Record Man, I remember they had a bunch of course, 1989, by now they were discounting vinyl like crazy.
Yeah.
I found a
Yep.
copy of Triumph Thunder 7 for a dollar, so I bought it. And I bought Bon Jovi New Jersey, which was still a current album, but the vinyl was marked down to 4.99. So I had a brand new copy of New Jersey.
Did
That's
it have
all
the
I
hole
had.
punched through it?
No,
Oh, good,
no.
good.
That's all I had for vinyl prior till when I was in my first year at community college. And this is when I got hanging out with Matt Phillips, my good friend Matt to this day.
Right.
Um, and I discovered a store in Fredericton, New Brunswick called Backstreet Records, which I'm happy to say is still in existence today. And
Oh, so good, good.
and but I do remember the first trip I made there. I don't know how many records I bought. I bet you I bought 2 dozen, and they weren't that expensive. I think I paid $2 or $2 or $3 for this, and it's still in really good shape.
That's
So
awesome.
this is a Canadian version on Vertigo Polygram, so it doesn't look all that much different. And yes, all it has is the red. But check this out. Here's what the record looks like. It looks like the UK one.
Ah,
So that's my one copy of
so
Pyromania.
I don't have that exact version because my Canadian is a
That
Vertigo.
makes two. Yeah, no, as soon as you said that, I was like, I think mine, no, when you showed the UK version, I'm like, I think that's what mine looks like. And I know mine's Canadian. So now, is there anything in the run out? Uh, no, I can see the serial number 3319, but I can't see anything else. But some of them have information about where they were pressed
Yeah,
and which,
yeah.
yeah. So, but just real quick, I know that a good sign, and they did this with cassettes because this is where I first remembered coming across it when the idea of a second pressing.
Yes.
When Slippery When Wet, of course, that was the changeover album for me. That's what got me all of this collecting.
Many of us, many of us.
The first issue, of course, of Slippery When Wet, the cassette in Canada had the red sticker on it on the black cassette.
Yeah,
But by the time that I bought my copy, it had just it was a black cassette with like gold sort of printing on it.
right.
Same thing with Hysteria, because when Hysteria first came out, it had the sticker on it with the song titles on it, and then
Exactly.
it was issued with just the printing, it being printed on there. So that's when you know something's really hitting because oh yeah, you better run off 50,000 more of these. People seem to want it. So
Exactly. And just quickly again on the reissues with this band, like, that Pyromania anniversary edition is such a great example of the attention to detail that
yes.
obviously Joe,
Hmm.
like, and it gives, there's a lot of talk about reissues these days and everybody puts it out. It's a money grab, but for fans, this is such a big deal to us. And it's so cool that they put the care and the effort into creating
Well,
something.
this is their legacy.
Yes,
You
exactly.
know,
You nailed it.
and especially Pyromania was such a pivotal album for them. It deserves, and because it sold so many copies, you kind of have to come up with something different.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take a little side detour because
Yeah,
now Pyromania's come out.
yeah,
It's going to be a while before
yeah.
Hysteria. We know the
Which is
history.
unusual, right? This was
It's unusual.
unusual in the 80s.
Absolutely. Like a band not having an album every year,
Yeah.
something's wrong. Did they break
Everybody
up?
was
What's
like,
going on?
where's the
Where's
album?
Def Leppard?
What's
Why isn't
going
Def
on?
Leppard at Live Aid? We all know what happened, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
right. So a couple things came out, and this is a really cool
Yeah, I don't have
compilation.
that. I've heard it, but I don't have it.
Yeah, so this is Def Leppard First Strike, which was put out, if you want to call it like it's an unauthorized, obviously,
Yeah. It was put up by their first
release.
managers, right?
Exactly. And it had kind of stuff like, pre 1979, early stuff on it, which shows up on another reissue later. But Heat Street, Answer to the Master, See the Lights, When the Walls Come Tumbling Down. This is stuff from the early days of the band. This is what the record looks like. There's obviously no inner sleeve, but it's still cool. It's on Flash Records,
Yeah.
right? And the band actually fought to get this. I
Pulled.
don't know if pulled from
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah.
I don't think they had much luck because it was just, I have it on cassette and I have it on CD as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that
It's a
stuff made the
cool,
rounds. Yeah. And I
yeah, and
imagine at the time people were just hungry for something different, right?
well, that was it,
And
right?
it's
And
kind of a
this,
cool cover. I mean, for something that's on the only thing that's missing from that is the logo, because that
yeah,
actually looks semi-official. And that back cover looks really official. It's got the right colors.
yeah, it's really good. They did a really
It,
good job.
for a gray market release, it's well done.
So to your point, so Frank Stewart Brown was one of their original
Yeah.
managers, and you can see there he's written this little piece saying, you know, they're huge now. This was issued in 1985,
Hmm.
so it was telling people, hey, this massive band, this is what kind of was the beginning of their
Yeah.
superstardom, if you will. So it's really just something fun to have. This I picked up. I actually got this on Amazon, and I haven't opened it, but I saw it. Oh, I did open it. I saw it one day, and I was like, "What the heck? This is Rock
Okay.
Rock Till You Drop, the radio transmission." So this is they had a broadcast recording, radio broadcast recording live in 1996 of, maybe I put this in the wrong order, but it's weird because it was recorded from a BBC, but it's got obviously the songs going up to slang, but they've
Yeah.
used Pyromania era images, and you can see, look at, there's one with Joe with a
I've
guitar.
seen that picture. Yeah. Yeah. What song is that they were doing where he
I want to say it was maybe Rock Rock Till You Drop, but I'm gonna have to find that out.
because I
But
know
very,
I that's cool. I know
very
that
clear.
I know he played guitar, rhythm guitar on when they would do Hysteria,
Yes.
but
Prior to that, yeah. So this is obviously
it was
Pyromania
pretty
era.
cool though. Like, Joe with a Les Paul, like that's pretty cool.
I know, right? Like how cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of a little detour.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I missed one, Tim. You're gonna kill me.
No, it's all right.
Got to go back. We got to go back in time. It
Wow.
is live at the BBC, 1979, 1980. So this was issued BBC Transcription Services. It's a concert that was recorded, made in England by the British Broadcasting Corporation, and this was recorded at the Paris Theatre, August 22nd, 1979. And it's 6 songs. I picked this up at a shop close to me that the guy's a massive Def Leppard fan, had all kinds of cool stuff. But this shows up again later on one of the reissues as
I
well.
wonder I wonder if the version of Get Your Rocks Off that's on that new wave of British heavy metal CD comp that I have isn't from there because I think that's a BBC
uh,
recording. Is Get Your Rocks Off on there?
yep,
Might be the same version.
it probably is. It probably is.
Yeah. Because
But
BBC
look,
always did great recording. So when you see something that the BBC recorded, it's going to sound good. It's not
it's
going to be a crappy
quality.
bootleg sound. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about this one is this is a French pressing on. Look at this.
Oh,
Verne Records.
but it
But
looks
that,
like the Vertigo logo.
yeah, and then look at this though.
Yeah. So is Vern like French for vertigo?
No.
No.
And you can see it's got, again, it says Verne as the label. So
You
not
know what I
exactly
mean,
sure about
Vern?
that. Yep. So this is from, I want to say it was issued in, it says 1979 on it, but I don't think that's
Oh,
actually the case,
that's in too
obviously.
good a shape.
Yeah. So it's a later issue, but that
Yeah.
was one that came out in between. Okay. Are we ready to talk
I here, yeah, the big one. Yeah.
the big one? I have a lot of these.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
So this is my favorite album of all time,
Ditto. Yeah. Love the hype
Hysteria.
sticker.
This is a 1987 Canadian polygram pressing on Vertigo. And I'll take it out because I had to have this. Hysteria gets a little crazy for me, Tim, because I feel like I have to have everything I can find. I know I don't have every variant. This is 100% sealed.
Yeah.
This has never been
That's
opened and is in outstanding condition. So I had to have it. I had to have it. This is the one that's open.
wow. 8.99.
So $8.99, and look, it's our
Sam the record man. Yeah.
Sam the Record Man. But I'll open this one. This is in the original shrink as well.
Oh, sorry. I just
Um,
stifled a sneeze and it's one of those, oh,
oh,
nose is on fire, but I'll be all right.
uh, the label is fantastic
Yeah.
because you've got the
Yeah.
this side, other side, and then on the back you've got the mouth from the
Yeah.
cover of Hysteria.
That's not strictly a British thing, but I know a lot of British bands did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And
Metallica did it. Well, they're not British, but you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, the frustrating thing is, and this is why I have so many copies from Canada, so I won't show you all the same thing over and over, but that copy I just showed you was missing the insert, which drove me nuts
Oh,
when I
yeah.
got it. Here's
There it
what the
is. Yeah.
actual insert
Yeah.
was. Tim, I don't know about you, but as a 15, 16-year-old listening to this album, I would sit down religiously
Oh, yeah.
with this
Yep.
and read through it over and over again, comb through the
That
notes.
album, that and Slippery When Wet are probably the albums that I read the liner notes the most
The
to. And
most.
especially the Hysteria one, because there was so much to read. I mean, there was an actual story inside of it. To the point where even today, if I see the name Ballybunion somewhere,
Yes,
I'll always remember where I first read that there was a place called Ballybunion.
right? And I love that they condensed the history of the band from 84 to 87 into this
Yeah.
one
Life at the
pager,
Top. Yeah.
Life at the Top. And that's the famous show where it was pouring rain
Yeah. It was
and
Mannheim, Germany, wasn't it?
kind of their comeback
Yeah.
in August 9th, 1986 at Mannheim. And they got drenched, and it was a massive moment for them to
Yeah.
come back. So
It was
that's
Monsters of Rock, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they were kind of down on the bill because they've been away for so long,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
3 years was a long, long time in the 80s.
I remember going through, just to call it another thing. So in this section here, I would used to read through this because they pay they give special tribute to Nigel Green, who
Oh
engineered
yeah,
the album, and
a
a
million
million
nicknames. Yeah,
nicknames
yeah,
that they
yeah.
called him through the time that they were there.
And
So
back to the write up on that, it's something that because that stuck with me in '91 when Tesla did their Psychotic Supper album. There's a song on there, "Song and Emotion," which they wrote
yes,
dedicated to the late Steve Clark. And there's a line in that song, "Life at the top ain't always what it seems." And I said, I know exactly what that means.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. Japanese pressing, 1987 with the Obi strip. And you can see what they did on the Obi strips at some point. Would they show
Also
the image of the,
available. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
previous. So the label is the same. It's got that this side, other side, but they've got a booklet insert similar to other ones they would do that has all of the Japanese lyrics. And of course, it's got the English write up. Just a lot of fun to flip through this stuff. And then
Yeah.
this is kind of cool. Just shows you what the Japanese names of the songs are.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like just a fun, really fun. 1987, again, picture discs were huge.
Yeah.
This is a US version of the Hysteria picture disc. So that's from the original front cover, an image from that. It's got the hype sticker on it. And then on the back, you've got a picture of the guys in
Yeah.
the
Pretty
band.
famous promo photo of
Yeah,
the
that was
guys.
a well-used
Well,
promo
yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. This I saw this and I was like, oh my God, I had no idea and I had to have it. South Korea. South Korean pressing from 1987. Now, there are a couple songs missing
I
from
knew you were going
this.
to say that because, yes, I knew you were going to say that.
So, for whatever reason, in South Korea, Run Riot and Don't Shoot Shotgun and Pour Some Sugar on Me were prohibited.
So for like violence and sexual,
I
yeah.
guess.
And
So,
I think you're going to show us another one later on that has a song missing.
potentially,
Yeah.
potentially.
Well, Chris, so I would know about that. Who told you that?
So it's hard to see, but Run Riot is not on here. Pour Some
Yeah.
Sugar on Me is not on here. Don't Shoot Shotgun is on here. Notice Love and Affection was the last song on the album.
Yeah.
Don't Shoot Shotgun is called, see that there? Don't Give Me Love and Affection.
What? Okay.
So they renamed Don't Shoot Shotgun.
But those lyrics
If
aren't
you
even in that
if
song.
you play it, if you play this album, because I did, Gods of War ends, Don't Shoot Shotgun starts, but it's called Don't Give Me Love and Affection. It
Is
gets
it the same?
very,
But is it the same song? Is it
yeah,
Don't Shoot Shotgun? Okay. I thought
yeah,
maybe they did
yeah.
a really weird edit.
So
Wow.
there are only 10, yeah, there's only 10 songs on this album.
So that's really funny and it's really interesting. Just give me 2 seconds here because this is timely as we're filming this because uh just bear with me here, everybody
Yeah.
and Chris. But this is the same let me see here.
That's the lyric sheet and then the write up
So
in Korean.
I was chatting with my buddy Brian Foster, who's got the great YT and Friends vinyl
Yes.
YouTube
Yes.
channel, and we're always talking about rare pressings because he collects Y&T and it's all their myriad forms of the albums, and I do, but not to the extent that Brian does. But he just recently found a Korean version of the cassette, the Contagious cassette, and it came in this interesting looking slipcase. And I like, well, I have a couple of cassettes that look like that. I've got a couple April Wine cassettes that look like that. And even though they were on different labels, because Contagious is on Geffen and April Wine was on Capitol.
Right.
So it must not have mattered in Korea. There must have been like one. So it comes in a slipcase, kind of like a cassette single, but it's got an actual cassette case in it. And the version of April Wine's Power Play that I have from Korea, there's a song on that album called Blood Money. That's not on the Korean version. So obviously anything that was particularly violent
Yeah.
sounding or sexual
Yep.
sounding, they took off.
Interesting stuff. Like
Yet
that
they
when I
left Pour Some Sugar on Me.
well, so there you go. They did on that one, but the
Yeah.
fact that they I guess maybe they maintain the integrity of 10 songs. That's why they renamed Don't Shoot Shotgun, because that's violent
Well,
in
you
the
can't.
sense of
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could just call it "don't," but I mean,
yeah, but
shoot
the
or
fact they actually
shotgun.
just
Yeah, don't give
they
me.
called it "Don't Give Me Love and Affection." And the other
That's
interesting thing about Hysteria as we go through this is one of the first albums that crammed 63 minutes of music
yeah,
onto one
yeah,
LP,
yeah.
which was kind of a big deal.
And I remember seeing an interview with Joe at the time saying that he remembered that Queen's Greatest Hits was a long record, and so
Yes,
he asked Brian May, which is probably why Brian May is credited inside of Hysteria, who pressed that album. And he said,
exactly.
and I remember him saying, I don't know if we used the people that he recommended, but at the end of the day, we pressed the record.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why there's absolutely no, when you were
Nothing.
making mixtapes, it was hard because there was
It
no
was
space
very
between
hard.
the songs. Yeah.
Exactly.
And also, what's weird about that to have a 9 song version of it when you're so used to hearing all of those songs and there's one starts right after
Right?
the other to go right from, yeah, that's just weird. And
It's a weird.
I love Run Riot. That's always been one of my favorite. Like, it's
It's a
hard
great
to
song.
name a deeper cut on Hysteria, but I love that song. So,
Oh, it's a great song. It's
yeah.
yeah. So sorry, South Korea, for those of you that didn't
Yeah.
have that back in the day. Okay, this is a picture discs. They were huge, right? So
Yeah.
this was put out in 1988
I've
in the
seen that.
UK.
Yeah.
So this was to take advantage of the success of Hysteria, and it was done in line with their '88 European tour.
Yeah.
So there's a little write up here by the band as they were doing at the time with all their releases,
Yeah.
saying that, here's why we put it out. We had Ross Halfin take some
Yep.
new pictures on the tour,
Famous,
right?
famous photographer. Yeah.
Because they wanted some new pictures for the label to put out
Yeah.
on the album, and
Now
they
that's
reissued this
interesting.
in
When
the
you
UK.
isolate that part of the cover by itself, it looks totally different.
It really does. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the front cover of Hysteria with all
With the
the lines over
triangles
top
and
of it, yeah.
everything. Yeah. The circuitry or whatever.
So I love this is one of my favorite pieces. It's just
Yeah.
such a cool piece. Okay, we're continuing with Hysteria. I got to walk you over though.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that is framed up on the wall. That is a original 1987 US Mercury pressing with the hype sticker, and you can see there 12 songs,
63 minutes.
63
Yeah.
minutes. That is sealed, so that's why it's up there on the wall.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I am a sucker for this stuff.
Yeah.
2018. This is part of the vinyl box set volume 1. So this was reissued with an amazing gatefold.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's from the In the Round tour.
When they ruled the world.
When they ruled the world in 1987, 88,
Yeah.
and on 180 gram vinyl. So this is where, Tim, when they reissued it, they separated it into 2 albums, right? Because on 180 gram,
yeah,
with the new technology, they can make it work. But same label, and on the back side. So that was from the box set. A couple other cool pieces. This one I did open, but this is the anniversary edition. So they released a whole pile of stuff, including the CD box set, the vinyl box set of the singles for the anniversary. This is remastered heavyweight 180 gram vinyl. It is a gatefold, same gatefold, but it's got the shrink wrap on it, so I'm not going to open it up, but I'll just quickly show you that it was released on limited edition orange vinyl, which turned out really nice.
Yeah. It's like how would you describe that color? That's like Fanta orange.
Fanta orange, yeah, exactly. And then in 2021, and I'm going to give a shout out to my pal David Church, because he sourced this for me. This was put out in the UK by HMV Records for their 100th anniversary. So they did 100 albums, like classic albums, that they reissued as part of their anniversary celebrations from the past 100 years. So this is number 70 of the series, and it is in HMV exclusive limited edition numbered packaging, and I haven't opened it, but it's violet colored vinyl. So I'm not sure exactly how dark it is, but I'm not going to open it. But that was one that our friend David Church.
That's awesome.
They wouldn't ship it to me, so.
Yeah, I've had that happen. Are there any other records in that series that would be ones that you'd like? Hey, I'd like to have that version. Not Def
There
Leppard
are, yeah,
necessarily, but
they did a ton of stuff. There's a ton of classic rock. Um, if you go onto the HMV UK website, the only issue is they won't ship to Canada or the US. So that's where I had my friend David
yeah.
Church take that in for me.
It's good to have people like that where you can go, "Oh
It
yeah."
really is. It really is. Okay, I think
That's
that's a
it.
lot of hysteria, but that's it.
Well, let me
Which one have you got?
put forth the one that I've got. And this was exciting because I had the first three and I had the high and like so I had both versions of high and dry. But I couldn't find Hysteria, and I didn't find Hysteria until early 1995. And I
Hmm,
found it at a record store in Halifax. And this just shows you how things have changed. So this is 1995. I think I found a ton of rare records at this one particular store. They were all $5 each. $5, that's it. And these weren't even the ones that were in the cheaper boxes that were like $1. I remember, I made a haul that day. I found a couple Y&T records, including their very first album, which didn't think I'd ever find.
amazing.
I
Five
found the
bucks,
first
yeah.
REO Speedwagon record, like really obscure ones, right? But I found Hysteria, and I'd never had it on vinyl before, so it was really because the first, yeah, obviously records were in stores when I was first into Def Leppard.
Yeah,
I just never bothered looking, just really taking the record out a record store shelf and looking at it, just looking like
right.
that is, I always just looking at the cassette was cool, right? And then the CD, yeah, okay, that's cool, but really to look at it like this is just like wow. Um, and so this is a Canadian version. It wasn't sealed, so it probably had a hype sticker, although it does have the right sleeve, and that was cool too. And same as yours, it's got the mouth on one side and the song titles on the other. That's it.
Love
That's all
it.
I got.
That's it. Hey, that's all you need. You've got a
Yeah.
copy of Hysteria on vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're moving on to the next era, the Adrenalize era. So, the band after Hysteria was like, "Don't worry, fans, we're not going to take as long to come out with
Oh,
another album."
famous last words. Yep.
I remember an interview on Much Music with Michael Williams, Joe and Rick Allen talking about
Yep.
we've got songs written. We've got songs written for the
Which
next
they
album.
did. They
They did.
did.
They
Yep.
did. I even think they named a couple. Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion is
That's
one
a
of them, if I
title. That's
remember.
one of the first titles I remember seeing floating around and
Yep,
in magazines too. Yeah.
exactly. So you're not going to have to wait as long. Well,
Well,
things happened, and
things
sadly
they.
we lost Steve Clark,
Yep.
which was devastating. But when it finally came out,
Yeah.
I was so excited
It's
in
March, wasn't it?
1992,
March of '92, something like that.
very end of March. Yep,
Yeah.
1992, they issued Adrenalize,
Yeah.
and I ate up every single bit of it that I could. So this is a original UK pressing. I don't recall, Tim, maybe you can, I don't recall seeing in record stores a vinyl copy of this in Canada.
No,
I don't,
I don't
I
know.
don't,
It didn't
I don't
even
think it was
cross.
issued.
It never even crossed my mind. I mean, yeah, I really doubt it would have been issued. I mean, look, if you don't know, then it probably wasn't.
Yeah. So I just had the CD and the cassette back then. So
Yeah.
when I picked up, I finally got this a few years ago. It wasn't cheap either, and it's way more expensive now, the original.
Yeah.
But I had to have it, obviously. And this is obviously them as a four piece because they had lost Steve Clark.
Yeah.
They finished the album as a four piece with Phil doing all the guitar parts, and Viv had not yet joined the band.
Yeah.
So the photos from this era, when you've got, the pre-Viv photos, are kind of unique in that this is the only time they've ever been a four piece.
It doesn't look right, but
it looks very odd, right? It
yeah.
looks very odd, and they are not a one guitar band.
No.
So they had to get a second guitarist in. That's the liner notes, again similar to Hysteria, and I love this shot of Joe's bathroom in his studio in London with this is where they would ruminate.
And the longer you look at it, you can see different things that they've written. Yeah.
I spent again hours with this liner note and trying to read all of the things that were written, but it's fun. It's fun to just go through it. And then they continued with the practice of on the label. That's from the front album artwork, and then the song titles on that side. So that was a tough one to track down as an original. the other really awesome piece that I have that's original is, of course, they did issue a picture disc in the UK.
Yeah.
So this is the strictly limited edition. I want to say there was 10,000 issued. This is number 5,808.
That
I
would
don't
be
know if
my guess.
I don't know if
That would
that's the actual case, but the interesting
Churchy,
part is too. Look
Churchy,
at
let
that.
us know how many were there.
Yeah, Churchy, how many were there? You will
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
This is backwards,
It's done with mirrors.
done with mirrors. But the
That's
picture disc is cool because it's
yeah.
got, again, this was issued obviously after the tour had
After the
started because that's
yeah.
their in the round stage. That
Yeah.
is, Tim, the first time I saw Def Leppard was on
Oh,
this
cool.
tour.
Yeah.
In the round in Toronto. No opening act, an evening with Def Leppard. 2.5 hours. And then, of course, we've got, this is my last copy. This is from the vinyl box set volume 1, so 180 gram reissue. There's the picture of them as the 4-piece on there. And I'll just quickly, same labels as the original and the same liner notes. But that's, this sounds amazing on 180 gram vinyl. So good.
So
So
I
that's
think I
adrenalized.
so I think I've got the same version you do. This is sealed. I bought this by itself, but it says the made in Germany, UMC.
Yep.
And yeah, so I think this is the same version of so that's the only so yeah, from here on in, I don't have any that are opened.
Yeah, the box set, in addition to putting out the box sets, which I'm actually anxiously awaiting number 4, they need to get on that. Joe, if you're watching, where's
Yeah.
box set number 4? They reissued the albums in those packages, and then they did them individually, like you said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've got all the various ones.
I know this one, and when I picked this one up, I bought this at Sunrise in Fredericton. It was a little cheaper than the rest of them because this is just a 10-song album. It's just one vinyl. It's one record.
Right. Yeah.
So
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So now we're moving into the period of the early '90s when vinyl started to become not cool, and they didn't put out a lot on vinyl. But this existed, and I was like, I gotta have it. This was released on vinyl in certain territories. Was their
yeah,
1993 album Retroactive,
yeah.
which fantastic kind of
Optical
moving them
illusion.
past. Well,
Oh
oh
yeah,
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 this was
yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
But this moves them past the Steve Clark era, kind of cleanses the palette. Viv was with the band now, and they
yeah,
released some stuff that was recorded earlier. But that optical illusion cover looks like the skull, right? So this is
yeah.
as you can see, this is a South American
Oh.
issue. So it's got the whatever that's saying. They're the new album of Def
Well, if
Leppard.
it says down at the bottom there, it says it looks like not. I'm guessing it means not for resale or something.
Could possibly be. We need to. Maybe it's a promo copy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, something.
I'll have
Yeah,
to find that out.
yeah,
Intro, yeah, whatever.
yeah,
And then there's the guys on the back. So you can see they've got bridging the eras, right?
yeah.
With the dates there. So this is a great album. Inner sleeve was in there with the credits, song notes, and I love that they always showed the
Yeah.
past catalog on there,
Including the home videos.
including the home videos, which came out. And it's I really like the label too. It's this
Yeah, me too.
purple and black with the Def Leppard logo.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You know what? This was a German made in Germany pressing, but this promo copy came from somewhere in South America.
Okay.
So, and then they reissued it. Obviously, for this
Yeah.
is on vinyl box set volume 2 now. So it's got all the appropriate inner sleeves. A little bit different though because they issued this as a 2 LP.
Yeah.
So that inner sleeve just shows the logo and an image, and then the other inner sleeve is the same as the original album. So it's got the liner notes, etc. Same labels as the original version. So those purple, black. So that's Retroactive.
So
Very
my
hard to
version,
find.
retroact, probably the same one you just showed because this was the one sold by itself. Says made in Germany on it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, these are the versions that we get in Canada. These are the ones that end up in the stores. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's it's interesting how that works.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot more songs on here. So yeah, they had to put it on. Two
Yeah, and that's
records.
2 records, and that's the beginning of Viv with the band.
Yeah.
This I'm still waiting for them to issue. They have to have it. Is official Blu-ray of the Don Valley Stadium show they did in
That's a
1993.
famous show in their history.
It's a huge show in their history, and one of my
Yeah.
favorite the songs I have seen and that they've released with video. Man, that's the best version of Rocket I think they do live with the extended bits in it. But this is a kind of unofficial, I guess you want to call it, release
Yeah.
of the Don Valley Stadium show. So I haven't opened this one, but it's got the full show on 2 records.
Another hit and run.
Yep. So that this look
Does
at
that say Black Betty?
yeah. So Black Betty led into Armageddon it. So they kind of did like
That's interesting.
a side jam. I haven't listened to this because I haven't pulled it out, but
Yeah.
great set list and heavily focused on Hysteria and Adrenalize, but another hit and run.
That's
Amazing
a
song from High and Dry.
deep cut. Yeah.
Deep cut.
It's interesting because every time I hear Don Valley, that sounds like it's in Canada. That sounds like somewhere in Ontario to me.
It is. The Don Valley parking lot. Yes. Highway here in Toronto that's
Uh,
terrible. Anyways.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
the
why it's
Don
called a
that's the
parking
Don
lot. I
the
get
Don
it.
Valley parking lot.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why it's
exactly.
always like, why it's Don Valley, yeah, but it's in, anyway.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that came out. They had the transition with Viv and they were moving into the 90s. Grunge was happening. And in 1995, they put out their first greatest hits package, Vault, which covered 1980 through 1995. I am still looking for an original copy of this. This is a reissue on Universal Records from 2018, and it's a fantastic greatest hits package. The liner notes are amazing.
Yeah.
So it's got the liner note is actually, this is Peter Mensch, who was their manager.
One of their managers. Yeah.
Yeah, who wrote out kind of this little summary of the band and what they'd been doing over the last 15 years. And then it's got that cool shot of them coming down the hallway.
I think that picture's in the Slang tour book.
Yeah, so this is definitely Slang era because they've got the different hair, etc.
Yeah.
And then this is 180 gram vinyl, of course, and the label looks like this.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm still trying to hunt down, Tim. It is out there. It's ridiculously expensive. Is the promo double CD release that they did that actually had a padlock on it.
Oh, cool.
It came in a case and there's a lock on it. And that was what was sent out to, I guess, radio to promote the release of the album. And there's actually a number you have to put in the padlock to unlock the CD.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. So I'm waiting for that to come up on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
So that's Vault.
So I think I've got the same copy. It's 2018.
It's probably the same copy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, but what's unique about this, and I kept the price sticker on it. This is the only record I've ever bought at Winners.
You bought that at Winners?
I bought this at Winners.
I have never seen records at my Winners location.
I have only, and they don't always have them. I've seen like Queen greatest hits. I've seen like Beatles records.
Okay.
Usually it would be like either greatest hits or really, really iconic, famous, almost people would buy for artwork. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought, this is so funny. I've got to buy it. I didn't have it on vinyl anyway. I'm like, I just the novelty of buying a record at Winners. So that's the one and only record, music, anything I bought at a Winners store.
Well, you can say, yeah, that's amazing.
And for those that don't know what Winners is, what is this? Winners, there's Home Sense, there's Marshalls. They're all basically the same store, right?
Exactly.
Markdown stuff, yeah.
Whatever they can get their hands on that they got a deal on that they.
Anytime like a truck overturns.
Yeah, exactly.
They get it. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so what are we up to? We're through the kind of shall we call it their peak years, but I won't say that we're through the big years and we're heading into the slang
Well,
era.
speaking of Don Valley, we're in a valley now, but we're going to come out of
We're
it.
in a
We're going to
valley. We're
drive out
coming
of
out
it.
of it. We're
Yeah.
coming out of it.
Yeah.
So don't have an original copy because again, ridiculously expensive. But in '96 they released Slang, which saw them go in a completely different direction. I hated
Yeah.
this album when it came out because I wanted Adrenalize Part 2. And they went more, I'm not going to say this is their grunge album because it's not.
No,
It's
but very stripped down.
stripped down. Rick Allen used an actual
An
acoustic drum
acoustic kit.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they recorded this kind of off the floor almost. It's much darker than their prior stuff. They were going through a lot at the time, divorces, marriages, all the rest of it. It's a great album. I love it now. Hated it when it came out, but I saw them on tour in a much smaller arena on this tour than they normally would play in. Worked my way to the front row, and man, it was a killer show. And these songs that they played from Slang sounded amazing. I love that label, by the way.
Yeah, me too. That's cool. Yeah, I
So
saw
this,
this is the first time I saw them was on this tour, and it was, I've said many times, it was poorly attended, but it was a great show. They
yeah,
did.
the building I saw them in was like a 4,000 seater,
Yeah.
and literally no like effects, lasers, them at the front playing like they were back in 1981,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
I
was
mean,
awesome to see.
it would have been the first time that they had played on like a regular stage since the
Yep.
Pyromania tour.
Exactly, which was quite a shock, right, for
Yeah.
coming off of that. The second copy I have of it, this actually is fairly new in that it's the 30th anniversary reissue that just came out. So I just picked this one
Yeah.
up after Record Store Day. So this is the full 180 gram reissue with 4 LPs, and they've got a bunch of stuff on it, like the alternate versions of songs from the album, first drafts, etc. So it's cool. I haven't opened it, but it's got the
Yeah.
as you can see there,
Yeah.
bonus disc curated by Joe Elliott.
Yeah.
So he put together that bonus disc, and
So
you've
I
got
got
the
the,
same one.
yeah, and I haven't had this too long actually. I've been waiting on this one. So yeah, this has, yeah, like Can't Keep Away from the Flame and Burnout, and yeah, so it's and I probably, yeah, some B-sides, another Made in Germany one. Yeah.
An
Yeah,
album that
this album took a long time to, I mean, I've still never fully embraced it, but I will say I think there are some cool songs on here, and yeah, the songs that I saw them do live, it kind of is like, okay, now I get it. Like Deliver Me, for instance, that was a song that
right.
didn't do much for me. Now I really like it.
It's a really good listen, especially to for fans of the band that were there since the beginning or joined when we did, shall we say, as fans. It
Yeah.
is a complete left turn, but
Yep.
you have to respect and admire the fact that they did it.
Yeah, I think that if they'd put out another sounding album like Adrenalize, it would have been Dead in the Water.
Yep.
And, yeah, and I know some people that like this album, that it's the only thing post High and Dry or Pyromania by Def Leppard that they do like. So
You're
there's
right.
something in the catalog for everybody, but this is definitely a dark horse album.
Exactly. And one that I'm happy to have on vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple other things that let me just see here. No, we're going to move on to the next era then, where
Yeah.
they returned to form in
Yeah.
terms of their original sound and released in 1999, Euphoria. So this is from the vinyl box set volume 2. This is a 2 LP reissue. I love that they do gatefolds in some of these reissues.
Yeah.
And that's notice something different about the band in this. Look at all the short hair.
Yeah.
They're short hair era.
That's a very Duran Duran looking photo of them.
It kind of is, right? They look very Duran Duran-ish.
Yeah.
And then on the back, you've got the guys. But this was an album for me when it came out after the disappointment at the time, I'll say, of Slang. And when I first heard Promises on the radio, I was like, oh my God, they're back.
This is why I got into this band in the first place. Yeah. Yeah.
100%. And there's the custom label with the logo. Yeah. A fantastic album that at the time, 99 was an interesting time for this type of music, and it did okay, but it
Should have done better. And
should have done better.
I blame changing radio formats because I know that, at that time it was sort of becoming cool for radio stations to play 80s rock again. But when
Yep,
Promises came out, I'm like, okay, it's great that you're playing Photograph and Pour Some Sugar on Me, but they just put out a single that would fit right in. So,
exactly,
and
exactly.
that deserved to be a major comeback. That deserved to be the comeback that Santana had that year.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? Like
Yeah, a massive album.
that should have brought them right back into the forefront, but it didn't, and I saw them on this tour as well.
Yep,
But
so did I.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it went gold,
yeah.
but it's a platinum album. It really
Oh,
is.
yeah. It's
Okay.
oh
Continuing
yeah,
it. So that's,
and then
do you
I've
have a
got
copy? Yeah,
yeah,
you got
yeah.
the copy.
Sorry, we were talking. Yeah, so this is just the Made in Germany, probably the same copy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sounds great too.
and on two records.
Two records, because again, it was a fairly long album.
Yeah.
And
Although I'm surprised that because if you remember, they had that, what is it, I'm Your Child? That was a B-side from that era.
right.
Surprised they didn't stick that on the vinyl reissue, but
Maybe it'll turn up. Joe's
oh, it
got lots of
probably
plans for us.
it's not like it's not like they aren't aware. Like they're not going to miss
Exactly.
anything. They're going to be like, you know
Exactly.
what? We'll save that.
And I love that they do have this stuff they can pull out. So
Yeah.
as part of the vinyl box set volume 2 that came out in, what was it, 2019, they also issued 2 records. One was called Rarities 2. So this is all stuff with this is stuff, Tim, that some of it was from like B-sides from Adrenalize, right? Where they had stuff like From the Inside and
Yeah.
She's Too Tough, stuff like that. So there's that on here, those demos of all those, but also on this particular one, so on Rarities 2, they've got the In the Clubs In Your Face, which was issued on CD, which was their kind of prep before the Adrenalize tour, where they did some club shows in
Was that
Germany.
That was Vivian's first show, wasn't it?
That was one of Vivian's first shows. So these are really fun because they also include all kinds of just cool pictures from all the way through the 92, 93, 94, 95, and then it's got the information for all the songs. But as an example, they have the demo version of When Love and Hate Collide. So it's kind of a little bit of like alternate versions of all the tracks. And the cool thing they did with these ones is they used their old school Bludgeon
Oh, I
Raffola.
love that. Yeah.
This is just a nice touch, right?
It's the details, right? It's the little things, but they aren't little things.
It makes such a big deal to
It just
us
shows
as
you he's paying
collectors.
attention. Like
He's paying attention. And this is, I can guarantee you, it's stuff that Joe would have been like, man, if I was a fan, I'd want to see that.
Yeah.
So then Rarities 3 is the other one, and it includes stuff like, which is really unique, Live at the Molson Center in Montreal from 1996 on the Slang Tour. There's songs from that. There's bonus tracks. There's a show. There's live tracks from the Denver Arena show in 1999. So you got Demolition Man, some Tokyo live recordings, and very similar to the other one, more photos of the band from the era, right? So this is what I'm talking about with like these types of reissues with all this. Like I was like, when these box sets came out, take my money. Like, I gotta have this stuff.
Yeah. Is that the Last Action Hero soundtrack I see on that collage?
Good eye, Tim. You're right.
Yeah.
That's the Two Steps Behind single.
Yeah.
Get into a whole other show on singles.
Yeah. Yeah, that's down the road, folks. I need to get quite a few more before I can even hope to compete.
So that was through 1999 and through the vinyl box set volume 2 era. And then we move into the 2000s.
Yeah.
Not a great time for the band in terms of, shall I say, figuring out who they were during that era and what was going on with pop radio and boy bands, and alternative was still out there, and there was a lot happening, and I think they were trying to find their way. And I think
they were as surprised as anyone, as we were, that Euphoria wasn't a bigger record.
Yes, and I think maybe that had a lot to do with them, shall we say, shifting gears and going
Yeah,
to X. So
yeah,
X came out, right? And this is a 2021 reissue from the vinyl box set volume 3. There's their boy band era hair, as I like to call it.
yeah.
I in the catalog, this is the one album I don't listen to. There's the labels for X or 10, as you want to call it.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with this album. They brought in outside writers on some stuff. It's for me a band trying to fit in to what was going on at the time, and in my opinion, failing. Like, I'm a Def Leppard fan. I buy everything they put out. Doesn't mean I
Yeah.
have to like everything they put out. And this is the one album for me that still stands as their like, I just can't do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. This so this might be the same copy. It's it's UMC, but there's a sticker over it that looks like this.
Oh,
And it
interesting.
says net new item. Okay. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. But yeah, I mean this is a rough listen for me. It's so poppy. It's so light and lightweight and no real yeah, I don't know. I just don't care for this album. And it was yeah,
No,
and I think looking back, it is interesting because I admire the fact that they were still putting out new music
of
and they weren't
course.
just touring and touring and touring. But what were they going to do? It's just it was a rough period. And they certainly
And
weren't the only band that was struggling.
no,
Uh,
no, this is when too they were, well, we'll get to it with some of the later releases, but they were in the process of management was changing.
yeah.
They were no longer with Cliff Bernstein and Peter Mensch, and they bring in, what was his name, Per Fredrickson, who was working with boy bands
Yeah.
previously, and he co-wrote a couple songs.
Yeah. And yeah, and then like Long Long Way to Go was completely unwritten by anybody in the band too. And Lionel Richie recorded a version of that song right around the
Right?
same time. So I mean, nothing against Lionel Richie, but this is Def Leppard we're talking about
This is
here.
Def
So
Leppard, and it's 13 songs,
yeah,
and people say there's some gems on there, but for me, it's not where I was.
like to me, like even songs like Four Letter Word just sounds like a cheap rewrite of Armageddon. You
Yeah,
know,
you can tell there's some. I don't want to say that they were uninspired, but there was just something there that they were trying to sort things out. But at
yeah,
any rate, it's an album in their catalog. I'm glad I
yeah,
have it. This was issued alongside of it in the box set number 3, and this is B-sides from that era of the band. That's a cool photo on the back,
that
but
is a
it's
cool
got,
photo. That's way
yeah,
better
it's
than the photo that's on the back cover.
right. They kind of look cool, and
Yeah, the
it's done in
effect
an
is
interesting
cool.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they issued a bunch of the B-sides um, from that era, plus stuff from a little bit later on, like Nine Lives, which we'll get to on another album. But this is a 2 LP set. So I'll just show you quickly. The label looks the same as the X label, but stuff like Now. So Now was the first single, which I never got into, and it's the radio edit on this. So again,
yeah.
alternate outtakes, demos that they've given us as fans to have as part of our collection. So that's all I've got from that era in terms of vinyl.
Yeah.
Okay, we're heading to the next.
Oh, okay. So I've got something before that.
Oh, you do? Oh, pop
Yeah.
it out, Tim. Oh, geez.
And so do you.
So do I. I just grabbed it from the wrong spot.
Yeah. So yeah, like a lot of bands at this time, Def Leppard did a covers album, which I will take over a comp or another live album because at least it's
Agreed.
different recordings. So yeah, this to me, it seems to me, if I recall correctly, this came out or this was known to come out a long time before it actually did, or it came out in some territories before it came out anywhere else. I'm pretty sure we got the same version too.
Yeah, this was the
Yeah,
gatefold. No,
yeah,
this is from the vinyl box set for me, but they did put it out
yeah,
separately. Yeah,
yeah.
and they did a great job with the inner sleeve on it. It's got all of the. I This is one, Tim. I should do it again, but when I bought it, I sat down, put the record on, and it took me a long time to read through this, but this is a really good read because it gives you from each of the different band members why this song was important to them, right?
Yeah.
So Sav, for example,
Oh yeah, and I love the
he,
homages to. So
yeah, that's Queen.
that's like Freddie Mercury from Queen
Yeah,
too, because he does
T-Rex,
yeah, T-Rex. That's like the what is it, Electric Warrior, I think.
Electric Warrior,
Yeah, yeah.
and look at Phil all glammed
That's
up,
as Iggy Pop, like Iggy and the Stooges, and then
right?
yeah,
Like, how cool is that? How cool is that? It's again the attention to detail,
yeah.
and they did a great job with. There's the labels, of course. So I really really enjoy this album. It's a fun listen, and you can tell the band is having a ton of fun with it.
Phil singing "Stay with Me" is fun because
Oh, Phil's got a great voice.
he's really channeling the Rod Stewart. Uh, I love their version of "Don't Believe a Word." It is so faithful to the Thin Lizzy original.
It's
They
it's
had
so good. It's
I
so good.
know that I know that they did get a lot. I kind of get sick of it, but they got a lot of airplay with "No Matter What." Like that got a lot of airplay.
It was issued as a single.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
was
it did
also
get a
on the
lot of
Rock of
airplay.
Ages. It first came out on that double CD, the Rock of Ages one, which is like in 2004, the UK put out one that was really bland looking, just called Best of Def Leppard.
Yes,
So then in North America, they put the Rock of Ages, the two CD thing, which was well done.
very well done.
Was better.
Sold very well.
Yeah,
I don't think it's out there. I haven't found a vinyl version of Rock of Ages, the collection.
right. And I was just going to ask you, in the vinyl box set, does it have a vinyl version of the bonus songs or like from the bonus disc? Like
Funny you should ask.
like American Girl and yeah.
So this is the great thing about this box set.
Yeah.
So they did Yeah 2.
Right. That's right.
And this, I love this. Look at this.
Yeah.
So good. But this, Tim, is where you're right. So they did the songs on this. This is a must have and a must listen. They've got everything, including stuff that came from B-sides of Adrenalize, like Only After Dark, Can't Always Get You Want, Little Wing. But then, to your point, there's American Girl, Heartbeat, Space Oddity, Stay With Me, Roxanne. It's so good.
The
It's so
Police?
good. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
They've
wow.
got
I don't
they've
think I knew
got that
that.
on here. Yeah. So the only disappointment I have on this one is they issued it just with black
Okay.
inner sleeves. There's no liner notes or anything, but there's the labels. So they did a full from the vinyl box set volume 3. They put out the full Yeah 2 with all the other versions
Yeah.
of all those songs, which was amazing. And then they
Yeah.
also did this though. They did, where'd it go? There it is. They did this, Tim. Yeah Live. So this is an LP of all the songs during that time frame that the covers they did
Yeah.
at various shows, the live versions. Elected, Action, No Matter What, Rock On, Traveling Band, Now I'm Here, 20th Century Boy, and All the Young Dudes. So this spans a big piece of time in that Traveling Band. This was a recording from way back in the Pyromania era.
Is that the one with where Brian May's on
Yeah,
stage? Yeah.
yeah,
And I'm
exactly.
assuming now I'm here is from the Freddie Mercury tribute,
Correct. Yeah,
also with Brian
exactly.
May.
Exactly.
As
So
Joe
they pulled
says, the man with the curly hair and the
the
curly
man
guitar
with
lead.
curly guitar lead, Mr. Brian May.
Yeah. You might know this
So
next song.
you might know this next song.
Yeah.
So that
I actually
that's really
didn't at
cool.
the time. I was just getting into Queen. I hadn't heard the
Neither did I.
original. I hadn't heard the original. Now I'm here. So yeah, that's really cool. Like that attention to detail, even if I don't like all the material, it's as far as curating it, it's well documented. And like, as we're filming this, I'm still going through my April Wine deep dive, and that catalog is so neglected and so overlooked. And there are B-sides that need reissued on CD or issued on CD for the first time. Anyway,
Yeah, it would
so
be good if it
this is
did,
a
but
great example of how you do it right.
This is how you do it right, people. Exactly. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good.
Well, you
Then
dug out you kind of showed us the next yeah. Yeah.
songs from the
Interesting
Sparkle Lounge.
interesting album. Interesting album.
Interesting album.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoy some pieces from it.
Yeah.
This was a 2021 part of the vinyl box
Yeah,
set
this
from
is the
that era
same
again.
this is the same thing by itself. And
I love the front cover. There's
yeah,
lots of
there's a
Easter
lot to
eggs on
take
there.
in.
There's
Yeah,
a
there's a
lot to
lot.
take in.
Yeah, it's like the Sergeant Pepper sort of
Homage, yeah.
homage, I would say. And there's you know, bits of earlier album covers and yeah.
It's got some good stuff. Nine Lives was a bit of a misstep for me with Tim McGraw, but the Joe only version of that song with just his vocals is really good.
You know,
Um,
I liked it. I remember thinking that the chorus doesn't quite pack that hooky punch that you want. And certainly the novelty of them doing it with Tim McGraw got a little bit of attention, but I just don't think the song had what it took to. It just didn't. It didn't. It was missing something, and I don't know what it was missing.
yeah.
You know, it makes me wonder what like Mutt Lang would have done with it,
Oh, that's
or
a
what he
really
would
good
have not
point.
done with it, but what he would have suggested. That little bit of magic that was missing. I think. Yeah, I think I always liked Bad Actress. I always thought that was
Oh, Bad Actress is great.
yeah.
It's so good.
It
Come on,
always
come
kind of
on is a good one too.
yeah. Bad Actress always kind of reminded me of Alice Cooper.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
So
agree with
yeah.
that. Absolutely.
Although I'm still surprised that as good friends as they are, I'm surprised Bon Jovi hasn't sued them for "Gotta Let It Go" because it's exactly the same melody as "Have a Nice Day."
Yeah, John and Joe are good pals, though.
Exactly the same. Exactly the same.
They
Anyway,
borrowed it.
and "Love," the song "Love" is a great Queen homage. Particularly reminds me of a song on their album Jazz called Jealousy. It's not a direct copy, but I can tell
Right.
that's what Joe was going for with it. So yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. We're moving forward now. I've still got a bunch of stuff because there's one good thing about Def Leppard in their more recent history is that they've been very active.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't record an album every year, but they put out new material and they've released a whole pile of stuff from the archives that we've already talked about. But
yeah,
the next thing I have on vinyl is their live album, their first full proper live album,
yeah.
Mirrorball, Live and More. So this is a 2011 issue with a really cool full gatefold. So this has 3 LPs. It's the full Mirrorball tour track list uh, on 2 discs and disc 3, and then it's got some bonus stuff live, which is Bad Actress in Action, but it's also got the new songs they recorded and include on this, which included Undefeated, which they played on the Mirrorball tour. But this was one that was hard to find for me, and they did some really cool stuff with the label, having a mirror ball on there.
Oh yeah.
Right, let's give you that mirror ball disco effect. I saw the band on this tour. It was a great show, and I think they were, in a good place. It sounds
The
great.
tide was sort of turning, like the audiences
Yeah,
were sort of coming back at this
and
time.
they hadn't, this was an era, so we got another big gap of new material or a new
Yeah.
album that was happening at this time. So this kind of was a nice bridge the gap. They put out some stuff before the next new album would come out.
Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't care for any of those 3 new songs. I didn't think either any of those songs were particularly strong. They didn't sound like top shelf material to me. And this is also around the time and they weren't the only band that did this. But you hear bands talking about, oh, well, yeah, we just might put out a song here or there. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We want albums.
We want albums,
So,
yes.
so the version of this that I have is a Walmart exclusive, a US
Yes.
Walmart exclusive. My buddy Matt
Uh,
found this for me.
I need that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's what, 3
That's
of all
three
of
now
these
we're on.
records.
That's we're on 3.
I'll take it. And the interesting thing about Mirrorball, because it was Walmart exclusive, when I had a Saturday Night Solid Gold show on, like when I was on the radio regularly, I gave, I don't know how many copies of Mirrorball away, because I knew I could always go up to Walmart and find a copy, because
Oh
it was,
wow.
yeah, it was just like I knew I could always find, because Mirrorball, they always had, you know, I say a lot of copies. I probably gave away 3 copies of it over the summer of, or whenever that album was out. So yeah, I always tried to do that. I always liked the idea of giving music away. I'm glad I was able to do
Oh,
it for a while
absolutely.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, moving on to the next phase. 2015,
Yeah.
they put out their first new album of all original material in quite some time,
Yeah.
obviously. The self-titled Def Leppard album. This is fantastic. There's the
Yeah.
gatefold,
Band
the
looks
full
cool.
gatefold. The band looks cool. I saw this tour. They were amazing. They've got all their thank yous on there on the inside. This is 2 LPs. This is a massive return to form, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
And for anyone that says, "Oh, I haven't released any good new material since whenever," oh man,
Nonsense.
this flies in the face of that
Yeah.
argument. There's the labels, but um, "Let's Go" was the opener on tour for this era when they toured, and a perfect opening track for
Yeah.
for an album and for a tour. Dangerous is great. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of great songs on this.
Yeah,
Like
this
it's
is
just
good. I still listen to this a fair, but I think I've got the
so
same
do I.
version that you have. This was the first major review that I did after I started my channel, because it was the first album I was really, really excited about. I got the Classic Rock Magazine version on CD, the standard CD, and it was also one of the first albums in a long, long time that came out on cassette. So I had to get myself a cassette version of it
You
too.
are right, and I've
Yeah.
got the cassette as
Yeah.
well. But yeah,
So yeah,
good call.
this is a strong album. Man Enough is a fun song. I saw them do that live in
Yep,
2019.
they played it
Um,
live. Yep,
yeah, no, it's really Wings of an Angel. I love that's sort of a heavier one. Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it. I liked it just fine. Yeah,
and I was lucky enough to get the picture disc
picture disc.
version.
Yeah,
So this isn't open, but it's two LPs. So there's 2 picture discs in here. You know what? I should open it at some point to see what the other side of it is. But
it's probably all the
it's
song titles listed. Well, maybe I don't know.
yeah. So it's interesting because this one is it's on Bludgeon Refola Records, of course, which is their own kind of label. But this one was released by
Mailboat.
Ear Ear
Oh,
Music.
Ear. Okay, the yeah. So the
The
North
original,
America.
yeah, the
Yeah,
the original one was Mailboat, I think, right?
yeah, yeah. The first thing I ever got on Mailboat Records was Poison's Power to the People in 2000.
Oh, yeah, they're obviously it's weird how was this a time in between Universal
I
Music,
think so. Yeah, they were
right?
off Universal, but then they got back on.
Then they got back on, yeah. So love to have picture discs.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for picture discs. What can I say?
Yeah, if it's a Def Leppard picture disc, then it's pretty much hopeless.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Okay,
the next thing
what
I've
next
got
thing you have?
is originally, I think, from 2008, and then it came out in 2016. I think the maybe I'm out of order here, but the Abbey Road Studios, live at Abbey Road Studios.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
This was a record store day thing that I just happened to find,
Yep,
and
me too.
it's just it's come on, rock on, and Rocket recorded May 2008, and it's just a cool little. This is made in Germany, probably the same version you've got.
Yep,
Yeah,
exact
so
same as mine.
but yeah, kind of cool.
It's just another fun piece to have.
Yeah,
Why they went in and did it, I don't know, but they were like, let's
chance
go to Abbey Road and
the
record.
chance to record at Abbey Road. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Next up, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Thanks
Yeah.
for hanging in with us.
Yeah.
So they issued this would be 2018 again.
Yeah.
We're on to another compilation. So this one is the story so far, the best of Def Leppard, with an amazing
Oh
gatefold.
man.
Look at that, right?
Yeah.
Like how cool is that? That is That is at the Denver Stadium where the Rockies play. And I don't know who got that shot, but it wasn't Ryan Sebastian because I don't think he was there with them yet. But at any rate,
That's a
that is
great
one of my
shot.
favorite photos.
Where would you have to be to get that shot?
He was way up in the rafters.
The moon?
So two LPs
Yeah.
with a collection of their greatest hits. Now on this particular, shall we say it's volume one, because I'll show you the next one. You can see there's really nothing from the first two albums. Well, there isn't anything from the first two albums. This is heavy on the Pyromania through Adrenalize era,
Yeah.
but a really good compilation with all kinds of cool archival photos from there's Steve Clark, as you can see.
Yeah.
I just love when they pull out these photos that some of which I've never seen before, right? It's so
Yeah.
cool to have those. And then they did the labels like this.
Yeah. That's pretty classic color combo.
Yeah, that's a classic Pyromania era color
Yeah.
combo. So that was volume one. Then the following year, guess what they did? Oh, the
Yeah.
story so far, best of volume two, using the same shot in the gatefold. But this one goes a little bit deeper into, shall we say, the hits. But it's from
Yeah.
the later period with a sprinkling of high and dry. So it kicks off with Let's Go and jumps all the way to Promises Slang. You've got stuff from like there's Undefeated, some of the lesser
Yeah.
known or the
Tonight, all I want is everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Dangerous is on here.
Yeah.
9 Lives with Tim McGraw is on here, which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting. So same label, and then they did again more shots of
Yeah.
the band. Like I've never seen some of these before,
Yeah. That's
which
really
is so cool.
And I think I've got the same, this is just so this has a hype sticker on it, the story so
Oh,
far.
you got the hype sticker.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that the CD set, it's all together.
Yep.
And what's also interesting, and I don't because this is unlike the band to do this. So here's the second one also with the hype sticker. But what
Nice.
but neither of these have Personal Jesus, which is on the CD version. So that's
Yep.
weird. Did they put that out as a single or something by itself, like a
They
45?
did. They did.
But
It's out as
I'm still surprised that it's not on the one of those.
yeah, the 45 they put out. I do have the 45. That was how
Yeah.
it was issued. But you're right. It is surprising that that wouldn't have been included. I'm assuming it'll show up down the road on something,
Yeah.
most likely. Okay, so now we're moving into again this period where they were putting out a lot of archival stuff.
Yeah.
This is a really great issue of Hysteria live. So this was recorded at the O2 Arena in London in 2018 when they played the album in its entirety from in track order.
Okay.
And this was also issued on DVD, Blu-ray, and is a fantastic listen. This, though, I love what they did with the clear vinyl.
Oh man, that is cool. Sorry, I'm just
Oh,
uh
good.
yeah, there's there. I don't have that on anything, so the
Really
next
nice.
yeah, the next thing I have is from well, okay, so let's put it this way. It was recorded in 2019, it came out in 2020. So
1920. Got it.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Maybe
Yep.
it's
Oh,
this.
no, no,
Nope. Oh,
nope.
okay.
But go ahead.
So this is 2020. This is 2020. This was their full when they did the first residency
Yeah.
in Vegas. So this is live at Planet Hollywood and is a 3 LP set with the full show. And I'll just quickly show you. That's the hype sticker that came on it, but they issued this in blue translucent vinyl.
Oh, that looks really cool. Really
with
cool.
the American flag label there.
Cool. They need to do a Canadian one though. They need to do one in Toronto or something. Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So the next thing I have is like I said, it was recorded on one night in particular, March 29th, 2019, but it was released in 2020. I'm sure you've got it. There's can't be any way you don't have it. No,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
it's not.
Oh yes,
Yeah, there we go. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, when
they're
they
set from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
yeah, so it's yeah, Stereo Rock of Ages photograph, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and then the All Star, uh, all the young dudes. So I mean, I didn't have this when it first came out. I think this had sat or whatever record store I found this at. It had been there a while, and I wasn't I'd kind of forgotten it was out. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't
Right.
have that, so I grabbed it. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's really cool actually.
I didn't get it on record store day either.
No,
I found it after the fact. I
yeah,
can't be bothered to go out on record store day anymore.
no, it's too much. It's
It's too
not,
much.
and they do it 3 times a year. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
totally
enough of that stuff.
yeah.
Just before we get to new material, so in 2021, there was a lot of stuff coming out at this time
Yeah,
frame. This is not opened. This is live when the walls come crumbling down. Look at that.
yeah.
Excuse me. Look at that date. So this
April
was from
26th.
their show April 26th, 1980.
That is early days.
It
Yeah,
is early days because look at some of the songs on here.
yeah.
Medicine
Uh,
Man, Answer to the Master, When the Rain Falls. There's a bunch of stuff here that was early
Good Morning
material.
Freedom.
Good Morning Freedom.
Yeah,
So this is kind of pre, well, early days Def Leppard.
yeah. And songs that would end up on High and Dry, right? Like
Yeah,
late,
some
yeah,
and
or late.
and
And
some like
then
so I can't remember.
didn't When the Rain Falls end up as something else?
Yes, I was just gonna that's the point I was gonna say, and Medicine Man as well, which I will have to go back and look. I should have had
Yeah,
it for my notes, but they turned into other songs.
yeah. So, and it's cool that there's such early recordings and fairly good sounding recordings.
Right? Exactly. So
Yeah.
all this stuff was recorded and put aside, and now we're getting it out, which is amazing.
So
So are
the
you into
next
the
thing,
next one?
yeah, the next thing is one that you and I actually no, was it you and I that reviewed this when it came out?
I believe we did. Did we not? I did a bunch of reviews of
I
this when
think
it came out.
I
So we
think
may have, yeah.
so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the next Def Leppard studio album.
Yes, exactly. Diamond Star Halos.
Yeah, we got the same version here.
Yeah, so this was issued in 2022.
Yeah,
A lot of songs on this. I
yeah,
like the album. I think
yeah.
it's
I don't think it's as good as the 2015, but I
no,
think it's pretty good. It's got
it's a solid album.
yeah. There's
There's
at
some
least
stuff.
there's about I really like about a third of it, and then I kind of like a second third of it, and then the last third of it's kind of like I don't know. But again, new at least it's new material, right?
And the other thing to keep in mind with this one, this was recorded during COVID
Yeah,
with them all in different parts of the world
yeah, and it really
trading material back
doesn't
and
sound
forth,
like it.
and it doesn't
Really
sound like
doesn't
it.
sound like it. No.
The only thing I will say is that the drum sound on this is it's not my favorite. It's noticeably programmed, right? Like it's
Yeah.
and you can tell, but it's a good album. Like there's some great songs on here, and they played Kick live, they played Fired Up live. This
Take What You
guitar,
Want is like one of
Take
their
What You
best
Want.
openers in a long time, right?
That is an
Yeah.
opener for an album and a tour that I think should remain in place for a long time.
Yeah.
Of course, being the completist that I am, I had to have this
Yeah. I knew
version.
there were other versions. Yeah. Sunrise exclusive. Yeah.
This is not open, but it's the Sunrise exclusive with the colored cover. And then also, of course, because I had to have it, they issued a picture disc of it. So
Yes.
this is the picture disc. And the cool thing is the picture disc, one of them is just the black and white, and the other one is the colored one.
And the cool thing is like we're getting back into those multiple versions again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how smart is that for them to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's keep going. We're down to the last ones that I've got. This has been a marathon and a ton of fun.
I've got one more to talk about.
You got one more?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably the same.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
So this is Drastic Symphonies, which was a surprise release in the sense that we didn't really know it was coming. 2023, they decided to use the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and reimagine a bunch of their big songs. So they're not re-recorded other than Pour Some Sugar on Me, which is a stripped down version with M. Griner, which I like. A lot of people didn't. But this is, so it's Animal as an example. It's the original Def Leppard vocals. They
Yeah.
put the orchestra in to give it that orchestral feel. Uh, this didn't fall in a good place with a lot of fans.
I'm gonna
I
be honest, I don't like it.
I listened to it a bit. I think you guys did a review of this, you and
Mike
Mike,
Ladano and I review we were both
and
kind of the
it was
same.
scathing.
I was so disappointed. I didn't know that it was I call it orchestra karaoke. I really wish I don't understand because to me this isn't Def Leppard. Def Leppard go all in. So I thought it was going to be all new re-recordings with an orchestra. So
Yes,
subsequently, I think that I don't mind that new version of Pour Some Sugar on Me because at least it's not orchestra
it's different.
karaoke,
Yeah.
and the songs from Diamond Star Halos sound better. But I was I don't want to say offended, but I was really disappointed. And so you do not see a vinyl version of it because I didn't think enough of it to get it.
Oh God, yeah.
And I
That's
don't
okay.
and I
That's
don't
okay.
often because this is one of my all-time favorite bands, but I'm like I just boys, this is a misstep as far as I'm concerned. This is one fan saying it.
Right.
So not a fan, not a fan, and better left in the rearview mirror.
I'm with you and I understand that, but
Yeah.
I'm a completist. This
Yeah.
is the clear vinyl version. Previous
I
one
do
was
kind of like
black.
the cover, that the cover's got an
The cover's
interesting look
cool.
to
The
it.
cover's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And if you watch the video for Animal that was released for this, it's got all that stuff in it. I actually like Animal on this version, but hey. And then of course I had to have the picture disc, Tim. So I got the picture
Yeah.
disc,
Again, they're doing a bunch when they
right?
put things out, there's multiple versions of them. Yeah.
So 3 copies of that. Uh, I'm down to my last 4 things, Tim.
Okay.
Shocking.
Yeah. I got one thing left, and I know you and I reviewed this.
Yes, yes. So we've got
Yeah.
this great album,
Same.
The
Yeah.
Record Store. Yeah,
Yeah. I love this live album. I listen to this a lot. I just listened to it this morning. This that
it's so good.
to me they completely atoned for Drastic Symphonies with this. I'm like, okay, this is my band again. They're back. They're making smart decisions. They're opening with action.
Right?
They're doing slang. They're doing excitable. They're doing mirror mirror. Like they're doing wasted. This is cool, and I like the story behind it too. I like the reason that they did this.
Right. And
Yeah.
now, sadly, this venue is going to cease to exist. But I had friends. So our friend David Church was at this
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
and Neil was there.
Yeah. Yeah. Neil,
And
I was on the Def Leppard pod. Great guy.
yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah.
and they had a ball at that show, and Mirror Mirror went over so huge
Oh yeah.
for the crowd that was there. So I've got 2 versions because I had the record store day, but then they also released a limited edition orange,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
which is very cool. So again, I had to have both of them. Okay, there we go. All right, and down to the last 2. So this is interesting. And they did this as a Walmart
Yeah.
exclusive in the US.
That's one of those things that came up like I just don't need it.
Yeah,
It
I
bugged
didn't need it either.
but Kiss did one of these too, and it's just like, oh, why?
Orange and yellow vinyl with
Yeah.
10 songs, 10 hits. And you can
And
see
nothing of any,
no,
nothing rare.
nothing rare. Just
No.
let's just reissue for the sake of reissuing something. And it's a US Walmart exclusive. So,
Yeah.
of course, I had to have it. I had somebody
Yeah.
pick it up for me from the US. And then lastly,
Yes, we reviewed this. I
we
don't
reviewed
yet
this.
have this on vinyl, but this is another good live album.
This is a great live album. So this was recorded during the Diamond Star Halos tour. And as you can see, Diamond Star Heroes. And this was them at Bramall Lane in Sheffield. Homecoming show recorded in 2025.
Yeah. Steve
Great.
Clark's was it mother and one of his
Yep.
brothers or sisters were there?
There was a shout out from
Yeah.
Joe to them on
Yeah.
this. And that's the last piece of vinyl in the
Woo.
collection.
Woo! Stay
Wow,
tuned
that was
for
a
the
marathon.
singles. We'll be right back. No, yeah, but I do want to do a singles show at some point. Chris, thanks for doing this. This was
Man,
great.
that
And
was
this was
so fun.
educational too, like all of these things. And one of the cool things is that of all of these things we talked about, I managed to have three things that Chris doesn't have. To me,
I
that's like
love it.
me having something by Y&T that Brian Foster doesn't have. It doesn't happen very often.
So now I got to go and find those.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, my rock and roll heaven, be sure and follow Chris on all of the socials for great content. And if you've got a question about a release date, he's your guy. Chris, thank you for so much for doing this. And yeah, it's time to go listen to some Def Leppard of whatever era you like. And we'll see you later. Thanks for watching Tim's Vinyl
Thanks, Tim.
Confessions.